Let's get started. Number 10. The sweet lie that built civilization. Sugar didn't start as food, it started as medicine. Ancient Indian doctors used cane juice as a treatment for snake bites and fatigue, not dessert. But as trade routes expanded, sugar transformed from a bitter syrup into the white dust of desire. And humanity never recovered. Your body, however, never got the memo. When sugar arrived in Europe around the 11th century, the average person ate less than 2 pounds a year. Today, it's over 150 pounds per person. And evolution? It hasn't changed much since the Stone Age. Your pancreas, liver, and brain still operate on the assumption that sugar is a rare treasure, not something hiding in ketchup, bread, or salad dressing. Here's the horror part. The brain reacts to sugar almost identically to cocaine. Both light up the nucleus accumbens, the reward hub that screams for repetition. So every cookie triggers a whisper that says, again. But biologically, your body is panicking, not celebrating. Blood sugar spikes send insulin rushing in to clear the mess. Too much, too often. And your cells stop listening. That's insulin resistance, the first domino in a long line leading to diabetes, heart disease, and accelerated aging. Sugar didn't make us powerful. It made us programmable. Every craving is a chemical echo of survival instincts hijacked by an industry that learned how to weaponize your biology. The tragic twist? The more sugar you eat, the less pleasure you get from it. And the more you need to feel normal. The system isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do, just in the wrong century. Number 9. The ancient brain in a candy store. Your brain evolved in a world where sweetness meant survival. Thousands of years ago, tasting something sweet usually meant it was safe, full of calories, and free from poison. Bitter things were risky, sometimes deadly. So, nature hardwired sweetness as a signal of life. Fast forward to today. And that same signal has become a trap. Modern food companies understand your Stone Age wiring better than you do. They design snacks that hit your brain's bliss point, that perfect ratio of sugar, fat, and salt that floods your reward system with dopamine before you even swallow. It's not just taste, it's memory. Your hippocampus, which normally stores useful things like where you parked your car, gets hijacked by the chemical chaos of sugar. You start associating happiness, comfort, safety with processed food. Every time you're stressed, your brain reaches for sugar, the way our ancestors reached for berries before winter. Here's the kicker. The more sugar you eat, the more your dopamine receptors shut down, like blowing a speaker by turning the volume too high. So you feel less joy, more cravings, and an emptier reward loop. It's a cruel evolutionary joke. A brain built for survival, now swimming in abundance, mistaking pleasure for nourishment. You don't crave dessert because you're weak. You crave it because your brain still thinks famine is coming. The modern food aisle is just the jungle, except the predators wear colorful labels. Number 8. The organ that ages. First, everyone worries about wrinkles. But the first thing sugar ages isn't your skin, it's your blood vessels. Every spoonful of sugar you eat leaves tiny scorch marks inside your arteries. Scientists call it glycation, when sugar molecules stick to proteins and fats, forming what are literally known as ages, advanced glycation. End products. The name couldn't be more accurate. Ages make your blood vessels stiff and brittle. They age your eyes, your brain, and even your kidneys. They're like microscopic glue that locks your body in slow motion. You might not see it in the mirror, but you can feel it. Fatigue that lingers, brain fog that won't lift, inflammation that refuses to cool, all are signs. Your body's internal wiring is caramelizing. That glowing golden crust on creme brulee, that's glycation. Now imagine that, inside your arteries. And here's the disturbing truth. Your body can't reverse most of the damage. Once proteins are glycated, they're done. The only real solution is prevention, keeping blood sugar stable. In a world that worships youth, we chase creams, serums, and surgeries. But the real anti-aging secret might just be saying no to that one more donut. Number 7. The gut that lost its rhythm. If your gut were a city, sugar would be the chaos that shuts it down. Inside, you are over 100 trillion microbes, an entire ecosystem responsible for digestion, immunity, and even your mood. But sugar doesn't just feed you. It feeds the worst bacteria in that system, the kind that thrive in chaos. When you overload on sugar, beneficial microbes, like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, start dying off. In their place, opportunistic yeasts and pathogens bloom. One of the most infamous? Candida albicans. It thrives on sugar, releasing chemicals that increase your craving for more sugar. That's right, your cravings might not even be yours. They're microbial propaganda. But it doesn't stop there. those bad microbes start producing endotoxins, microscopic toxins that leak through your gut wall and trigger low-grade inflammation all over your body. This process, called leaky gut syndrome, is now linked to depression, autoimmune diseases, and metabolic disorders. You think you're having a sugar crash? That's not just blood sugar dropping. It's your microbiome begging for peace after an internal riot. Your gut isn't just where food goes, it's where emotions begin. The phrase gut feeling isn't metaphorical. 95% of your serotonin is made there, and when sugar wrecks that balance, your mood goes down with it. In short, sugar doesn't just feed your body, it feeds the wrong world inside it. Number 6. The brain that thinks it's starving. Here's the paradox. Eating too much sugar can make your brain believe you're starving. How? It begins with insulin, the hormone that ushers glucose into cells for energy. When you flood your body with sugar repeatedly, your brain cells start to ignore insulin's signals. They become resistant. So even though your blood is full of fuel, your neurons are effectively hungry. That midday fog, that's your brain running on fumes while your bloodstream swims in sugar. To compensate, your body releases more insulin, which only worsens the resistance. A loop scientists call type 3 diabetes, or insulin resistance of the brain. The result? Cognitive decline, anxiety, poor focus, and memory, lapses that feel eerily like early aging. In one study, people who drank just one sugary beverage a day had smaller hippocampi, the memory centers of the brain. Over time, the effect snowballs: less energy, less clarity, more cravings. It's not that sugar makes you dumb, it just makes your neurons tired of listening. Imagine your brain as a city. Sugar is the power plant that keeps overloading until the grid starts flickering. The lights are still on, but they're dimmer, slower, and costlier to keep running. And every extra teaspoon pushes you closer to a blackout. Number 5. The hormones that stop talking. Sugar doesn't just mess with your brain, it scrambles your entire hormonal conversation. Think of your hormones as a 24-hour group chat. Insulin, cortisol, leptin, and ghrelin constantly text each other about hunger, energy, and mood. But when sugar floods the system, it's like someone starts spamming emojis in every message. No one can understand what's going on anymore. Leptin, the hormone that tells you you're full, becomes ignored. That's why you can inhale an entire pint of ice cream and still feel empty. Ghrelin, your hunger hormone, becomes overactive, convincing you you're starving even when you're not. And cortisol, the stress hormone, skyrockets because blood sugar spikes and crashes mimic a survival threat. Your body starts mistaking dessert for danger. In short, your hormones go from calm conversation to full-blown chaos. You're tired but wired, full but starving, safe but anxious. And here's the cruel irony. These hormonal misfires don't just affect appetite, they rewrite your sleep, fertility, immune response, and even libido. That's why people with chronically high sugar intake often report insomnia, fatigue, and brain fog. It's not bad luck, it's biochemical confusion. Your body was designed for slow, natural cycles of energy, not roller coasters. And every sugary spike is another derailment in that delicate rhythm. Evolution took millions of years to fine-tune. If hormones were music, sugar is static. And the longer you listen, the harder it becomes to remember the original song. Number 4. The heart that forgot its beat. Your heart doesn't break from love, it breaks from glucose. When sugar levels stay high, your liver converts the excess into fat. But that fat doesn't just sit under your skin, it starts coating your organs, especially your liver and heart. This condition, called fatty liver disease, used to be seen only in alcoholics. Now, it's common in children. Your bloodstream turns into syrup, thickening and inflaming your arteries. Over time, the walls stiffen, blood pressure rises, and your heart has to work harder just to push through the sludge. It's like trying to pump honey through a garden hose. And that sugar rush, it's not energy. It's your adrenal system in overdrive, releasing adrenaline to handle the surge. Then comes the crash. Your heart rate dips, blood pressure drops, and fatigue hits like a hangover. Even worse, sugar damages collagen, the protein that keeps blood vessels elastic. That's why excessive sugar doesn't just increase your risk of heart disease, it literally ages your cardiovascular system years ahead of schedule. So, when doctors say cut back on sugar, they're not being dramatic. They're trying to keep your heart from becoming a crystallized relic, one spoonful at a time. Number 3. The immune system that forgot. Who's who? Sugar doesn't just weaken your immune system, it confuses it. Within 30 minutes of eating a high sugar meal, your white blood cells lose up to 50% of their ability to destroy pathogens. It's like turning your army into a group of tourists with cameras. Why? Because sugar molecules compete with vitamin C for entry into those cells. And guess what? They use the same transporters. So when sugar floods your bloodstream, it blocks vitamin C from getting inside immune cells, leaving your defenses blind and unarmed. This isn't some fringe theory. Nobel laureate Linus Pauling proposed this glucose ascorbate antagonism decades ago, and modern research backs it up. After a can of soda, your immune system takes hours to recover. That's hours where bacteria, viruses, and rogue cells have free rein. But the real danger isn't just lowered immunity, it's chronic inflammation. Constant sugar exposure triggers immune overreaction, flooding your body with cytokines that never turn off. Your immune system, exhausted from fighting invisible fires, starts misfiring, attacking healthy tissues, nerves, even your own DNA. That's how autoimmune diseases quietly bloom in otherwise healthy people. Sugar tricks your body into fighting the wrong battles, and sometimes you're the casualty. Number 2, the DNA that burns too fast. Every cell in your body is like a small factory, precise, elegant, and dependent on timing. Sugar turns that factory into a fireworks show. When your blood sugar spikes, your mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, go into overdrive, producing not just energy, but free radicals, unstable molecules that damage DNA. Over time, this oxidative stress accelerates telomere shortening, the erosion of the protective caps at the end of your chromosomes. Telomeres are the biological countdown clock of your life. The shorter they get, the faster you age, inside and out. In one 2014 study, people who drank sugary sodas daily had shorter telomeres equivalent to 4.6 years of additional aging, comparable to heavy smokers. So, in a sense, every can of cola is a time machine, but only in the wrong direction. And when your DNA takes that kind of beating, your body starts to misprint instructions. Mutations sneak in, repair systems fail, and diseases that should have taken decades to form begin early. Sugar doesn't just give you energy, it steals time. Quietly, efficiently, and sweetly. Number 1, the addiction no one admits to. If sugar were discovered today, it might be classified as a controlled substance. You can quit alcohol, nicotine, even caffeine, but sugar? It hides in 80% of processed foods: bread, ketchup, yogurt, salad dressing, all laced with the same chemical that hijacks your reward circuits. Neuroscientists have literally scanned the brains of sugar addicts and cocaine users, and the same neural fireworks go off in both. Here's the eerie part. When lab rats are given a choice between sugar water and cocaine, most choose sugar. Some even show withdrawal, shaking, anxiety, and aggression when it's taken away. That's not low willpower. That's dependency by design. Evolution built your body to survive scarcity, not endless abundance. But industries worth billions have turned that weakness into business strategy. Every new flavor, every limited edition snack is an experiment in behavioral engineering. You're not buying taste, you're buying a carefully calculated dopamine spike. And unlike other addictions, this one wears a smile. Birthday cakes, family dinners, little treats after a hard day. We bond over sugar, celebrate with it, comfort ourselves through it, unaware it's rewiring the very chemistry that makes us human. Your body was never designed for this, to face the sweet apocalypse of abundance every day. It's not about quitting sugar completely. It's about remembering what your biology forgot. That sweetness was supposed to be rare. So next time your brain screams for just one bite, ask yourself, is that hunger or programming? That's it for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe for more.